So this is Bamber.
Yeah, this is Bamber. Come on, boy.
So Chris, is it okay for me to give your guide dog a treat?
Well, regarding the subject of feeding a guide dog, it's a very strict no, unfortunately. Many people ask if they can feed Bamber, and they always get a refusal, but in a nice way. But recently, this past few days actually, somebody gave Bamber a treat on the sly, and Nicola found out, and she had to tell the woman that feeding a guide dog is really not allowed. And Nicola also showed the lady that this little flash on his leash says do not feed the guide dog, and it's because they're trained really not to scavenge, and if they are in a restaurant or a cafe, they have to be quiet and just lie on the floor at your feet or under the table. And the last thing you need is for a guide dog to want to be scavenging food in a fine restaurant. So it's a strict no, that guide dogs are not allowed to be fed. They get the breakfast, they get their evening meal, and on occasion, as a reward for some obedience training, they might get a treat for that. But definitely no feeding by strangers or third parties.
So when is it okay to talk to you or your guide dog?
Well, what I like to say is if I'm actually working Bamber and I've got his harness in my hand and we're travelling or trying to navigate, then definitely not. It becomes really confusing, certainly for me, to try to work a situation, and if someone's trying to distract me, that's not good. And luckily, you know, guide dogs are that well trained that they won't just bolt, or hopefully they won't just bolt and go to someone. But you get a lot of people, especially when I'm working Bamber and walking through a shop or a garden centre, people are clicking their fingers and making that sort of sound. All right, boy, how are you doing? And I have to say, look, I'm sorry, but you can't do that. It's not allowed. I'm working Bamber there, and you know, we're trying to perform a task and get it completed safely and efficiently. And the last thing we need is for a member of the public to be trying to distract us. So, with that being said, if we are in the queue at a supermarket and his harness is down and we're waiting, always ask permission from the guide dog owner if it's okay to say hello, and if circumstances are safe and I decide it's safe, then I will. And you know, within reason, I never refuse if it's safe to do so. And I think that interaction between a guide dog owner, his guide dog, and members of the public, it's crucial, because hopefully, you know, that might get a new sponsor or someone to donate. And also, you don't want to be nasty in case you're talking to someone that has donated a lot of money over the years, and if you're surly or obnoxious, they might withdraw their donations. So as a rule, if you're working, do not engage. If the dog's not working and just stood there with its owner, just ask first.
And where is your guide dog allowed to go?
He's allowed in pretty much every place of business and leisure that you can imagine. Really, Bamber is a part of me, and he's my eyes when we're out and about. So he's allowed in, as mentioned, restaurants and cafes, theatres, the cinema, hotels, supermarkets, everywhere, hospitals. There's nowhere really that should be refusing a guide dog owner and his or her dog access. And if they do, they're breaking the law. We have the support of what's called the engagement team at the Guide Dogs organisation, and they can then enter into a dialogue with the establishment that refused entry to try and educate them, and also there's a full legal team, legal backup. So yeah, if you do get refused access into an establishment, report it, because the Equality Act and the Disability Act says that myself and my guide dog are allowed entry pretty much everywhere.
How long does it take for a guide dog to settle in your house?
Well, we hit it off pretty quick when we were paired together, and those first 10 days together you just spent in the house all the time bonding and getting to know each other. But really it takes quite a long time for to get completely settled in. It took about 12 months for us to notice that Bamber really was at ease, and I think because guide dogs, through their training, they're going from puppy walkers to trainers and instructors in the guide dog centres. They're being popped in different environments, so I guess it takes a while for the guide dog to realise that, whoa, this is really where I'm going to stay in, and this is my home for good. It takes about 12 months, and at that 12-month period we did notice a change in Bamber and how he really was so comfortable and settled. So I'd say probably up to a year.
So does Bamber like travelling in the car?
Yeah, Bamber loves travelling in the car. He doesn't suffer with any anxiety or worries in the car. He travels really well. He's settled. He, being my guide dog, we do tend to clock up the miles as I'm doing the demonstrations all around the country. No, he's a great traveller. We'll stop obviously from time to time for toilet breaks and water and things, but no, he loves it. You don't hear a peep out of him really, and he's just trying to eat some more flying insects, I think, at the minute. So no, he loves it in the car. He's very settled, and he's a joy to have in a vehicle, really. Yeah, I suppose if you want to know any more about guide dogs and guide dog owners, if you get the opportunity, speak to them in person. But failing that, a good resource is guidedogs.org, where you can find out everything you need to know about guide dogs. And there's also videos on YouTube explaining how guide dogs are trained and how guide dogs are selected and how they're paired with their owners. So there's quite a few ways to gain more information online. So, but yeah, you can't beat meeting a guide dog and its owner in real life and getting to know what goes on. But just remember, always ask if it's okay to do so. Okay, now on this rare occasion, just as a treat for you guys, I'll show you. So he's sat, he's compliant. Bamber, wait. Wait. Good boy, Bamber. Good boy. There you go. So, thanks a lot, guys.